So 2022 was a really long year, and it was a year that I was focusing on kind of life, job, friends, family rather than my hobbies, which unfortunately meant less reading for me. And I kind of understood that when I was doing my Goodreads reading goal and I was giving myself like TBR lists. However, what didn't get the message was my purchasing habits. So today's video is going to be about how many books I read versus how many books I purchased in 2022, and also what I'm going to do about it going into 2023, because I need to fix the issue. In 2022 I purchased 99 books, and the worst thing is, in my head I'm going, I wish I'd bought one more just to round that number to 100, but 99 is a lot of books, and this does include graphic novels, art books, cookbooks, and books that aren't really like full-length novels, especially like second-hand books. So I'm not spending £990 on £10 paperbacks at all. It's nothing like that, but it is quite a lot of books. That is 99 books that I purchased, not ones that I was gifted, so it was getting into a bit of a bad habit. And then I do want to call out one of the issues I have, which is I do buy books in a series, and then I'm a mood reader, so I don't actually binge read whole series very often. And I've done this with plenty of books. Like I think the last books that I binged a whole series after one another was Game of Thrones, which was like, I must have been like 16, 17, so 10 years ago. But I keep doing it. I keep buying, like this year I bought the entire Sandman graphic novels by Neil Gaiman, and I also bought all the Kate Bryant books in the Private and the Privilege series because I wanted to reread them from when I was younger. And actually what happened was I read the first 3 Sandman graphic novels, I watched the TV show and realised, oh well, I'm not missing anything until the next season comes out. And then I went and read other things because I was like, oh, I want to do something a bit different. And then with the Kate Bryant stuff, I was rereading them, but I started rereading them from the first one, which I'd already had on my shelf, including the second and third one. By the time I got to the third one, it was New Year. So I don't have enough time to read that many books in a series one after another, or I'm not in the mood to. I need to really get around it to stop doing it, and I can definitely be better. But basically what I'm saying is about 30 of those 99 books were by 2 authors. It was quite an issue. And then of the 99 books I purchased, I only read 22 of them, which is about just over 20% of the books I purchased. I actually went on to read this year, and I think that could be better. I mean, ideally it would be like 95 to 100% read. More realistically, I'm aiming for like 70% of the books that I actually purchased, and just because if I'm buying it, I want to like be buying it to read and not buying it to put on a shelf until I get around to reading it, because by then I might have different tastes, or I might have, you know, been put off it, or I might have read something really similar and I might not like it. You know, these things happen, and it's just, I need to be better at reading, basically. I do want to point out, which I've said in other videos, my reading last year wasn't very good. So I think I read only 54 books. So about half of the books I did read were books that I purchased, which is good, but it could be better, right? So here is my plan. First off, I'm going to be more intentional when I'm purchasing books. One of the things I need to do is go, am I going to read this today, tomorrow, this week, or is it going to sit on the shelf for a while? If it's going to sit on the shelf for a while, I'm going to write it down somewhere, and then when I want to read it, I can order it for like the next week or something, and then I can read it. If I'm not going to read it, then I'm not going to buy it, basically. And if I'm already reading another book, or I know I've got pre-orders coming up, then I'm not going to buy it. And just give myself space to read the books that I already own, or the books that I've already got on pre-order, because I've already got quite a few. But hopefully that'll help curb my spending habit a little bit just next year. And then another part of my plan is that I'm actually going to start reading more physical books. I said in my reading goals post that I wanted to set aside time every day to read that isn't like going to bed or on the train commuting. And that's because one of the things I'm finding is like I automatically just reach for my Kindle because it's small, it's lightweight, just fits in my bag. I can read with the light off in bed with a Kindle, but obviously with paperbacks you can't really do that. You have to like actually turn the light off before you go to sleep instead of falling asleep holding the Kindle, which is sometimes what I do. And I just want to be a bit better at reading the physical books I own, even though I do love my Kindle. I will be just trying to bring a little bit more balance and finding ways to read physical paperbacks and hardbacks. You may also be asking about audiobooks. I personally can't get on with audiobooks because I never take in what's going on, so I always kind of miss things and then I have to go back and it gets really frustrating. So this is just a physical book and an ebook kind of person at the moment. And the last part of my plan is I'm going to stop purchasing whole series of books unless they're on a good offer in a box set like The Witcher or Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, because they come really well packaged. But otherwise I'm not going to like buy like singular copies like I did for Outlander, Eye of the World, anything like that. I'm just not going to do it anymore. I need to buy a book and then read it, and then I can move on and buy the next book in the series and just be a bit better about it. I'm not buying whole series that I don't read, which happens quite a lot, as you can probably tell. And yeah, those are my plans for being better as we go into 2023 about reading books that I've purchased. Let me know if you're the same as me. I know quite a few of my friends are, but if you're not and you have better coping methods of how to like not retail therapy shop for books, let me know as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in another video soon.